have obviously been freed from the American front. These guys can't get involved in the American Civil War anymore.
Well, the PSA fell anyway, so...
Exactly. Yes. Well, they could hold. They could try and help the Union or some other nation just to try and slow down the Entente. But no, their priority now is China, and I'm not sure how hard this will be for them. Actually, I think they're going to come up against some resistance, but they seemed confident with their control of the Chinese wall. Let's see if it paid out for them helping the Nanjing clique, or if that was actually ill-advised.
One thing which is usually interesting to see from this screen right now is check the faction map mode and see how much of China has actually rallied against them. Yeah, see, it's all of the warlords, which is actually what they wanted because it means they can annex the lot, but it also means that they're up against a lot more troops at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And interestingly, Lev Komendang is one of the members of the unified Chinese. So I wonder if the Co-Pro is still fighting in Komendang or not.
Interesting. Probably not at this point. No.
Okay.
Back over to the American Civil War for a moment. Let's take a look. The Denver push has been faltered as... Wow, Chicago fell. Chicago has fallen to the Entente as they stream over the borders. We might actually get a connection here. These Brazilian troops are steps from St. Louis. Are we going to have the Entente meet in St. Louis?
The way you say that's funny. St. Louis. I know it's a French name, but it's an American city.
It's the film, Meet Me in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Is it?
Alright, chat, is this a Louis or Louis?
St. Louis.
Back me up here.
To be fair, I don't say New Orleans. That's New Orleans.
Yeah, it's New Orleans. Or New Orleans, actually. Not
New
Orleans. Louis. Yeah.
That's true. Meet me in St. Louis.
Louis, yeah. Louis. Mordred is right.
I mean,
Louis.
Mordred, you're the American here. I'm going to default to what you think.
I know. It is really interesting how so many different people have so many different pronunciations of like the most standard things.
I never wondered. Because you're an American, but you were raised in the British school system. How do you say aluminium?
Aluminium. Although actually, technically, aluminum is closer because it's derived from Latin and that's alum.
It's alum. Yeah, and both are recognized by the scientific was it the scientific association that's in charge of the naming of elements. I can't remember the full name. Is that medium tanks?
Yeah, it's heavies actually.
But that's the syndicates.
Yeah. So it is actually a regular CSA Hell on Wheels division, Continental Heavy Armor.
Heavy armor coming out here for the AI CSA here.
Impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. They're
super low strength. Like they're less than half, but still.
Oh, here's a question: am I allowed to look at the logistics screen?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I mean, if it's an AI, probably, but for the players, no, definitely not.
Okay. I was going to say, of the combined syndicates, I was going to see, where did those come from? Are they building them, or...?
Yeah, so the logistics screen is off limits. The templates are off limits until they actually go into the full Weltkrieg. And I'm usually a little hesitant about showing research and focuses, though as the game goes on, I'm less hesitant, because by then, tactics have been established.
The CSA is actually producing heavy tanks. That's hilarious. That's all I wanted to check. That's fantastic. So, even though it's in the wrong hands, well, it's not anymore actually. But the Detroit Arsenal just putting out heavy tanks in 1937 is pretty funny.
Louis, say Louis, Louis. Oh, but that's kind of rolled together. Okay, Kallax, that's probably an accent thing, which I can't do.
It's St. Louis.
Because he's saying St. Louis gets called St. Louis in the same way that New Orleans gets to be called New Orleans.
Ah. So is this another case of we are both right?
No, I'm right. I don't know, honestly. That one, if it's like Californian names, I could probably chime in a bit more because that's where my family's from.
Oh, I have no idea. I've got family in America, and I still have no idea. But you're a citizen, so it's very different. The battle for Hungary is still going on. Hungary
Not for long.
almost capitulated, though.
Yeah, as soon as that last capital province goes, I think they'll probably falter. The Indian front's been fairly slow, but that's not really that much of a surprise.
What, you say that? In the Tucans, when they were in control, stormed over the borders. Absolutely destroyed. There goes the American Syndicate States. They have capitulated. Have they? I swear that said that. The destruction of it.
No, that was the fall of them. That wasn't their capitulation. So that's their... They shatter, which means all of their units fight at, I think, like 20% effectiveness to hasten the end.
Yeah, and there they go anyway, after the fall of Washington. For the Treaty of Washington.
I wonder if there was a deal with the devil, where the AUS and the CSA make friends to fight the Federals. I'm not sure that they can. I'm not sure that the CSA ever can. I think it's only if the CSA starts winning that the others do deal with the devil.
It's. I think the PSA and the AUS can work together, and the Federals. It's just to destroy the Syndicalists. There is a deal that can be made, I believe.
And here we go. It's just the AUS left.
There's absolutely no units here in this center. If the troop maneuvering here of the Federals notices that and they get a push through.
Oh, there was a deal with the devil? Okay, I completely missed that.
They can just storm through Atlanta there. I believe, was it the Philippines joining?
Yeah, Philippines joined CoPro.
And Siam.
So one of the choices that teams have is whether they want to have their last minor player in Siam or the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And every game I've seen so far, it's been Siam.
Yep. And there's no change here.
The only one that I ever see some difference on is Third International having either an Ireland or a Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it as Ireland so far, I believe.
And I don't even know why Reichspakt has the decision between Belgium and Sweden, considering one of those doesn't even exist.
I wonder if it's... because Flanders and Wallonia doesn't normally start annexed. So I'm guessing it might...
No, but I think that's a rule for this game.
Oh.
The fact that they do. Like, when we started the game, Flanders Wallonia starts annexed.
Interesting.
So why it's in the rules that they can choose Belgium and there is no Belgium.
Maybe it's meant to be Netherlands or Sweden. Or that was an old rule that's since been changed. And just the sheet hasn't been updated.
Quite possibly. If Belgium is played, it doesn't get annexed. But isn't that just like the start situation, or do they just load a different save or something? I don't know. And then who's the other choice? Brazil or Argentina?
I've seen Brazil so far.
Yeah, I've only seen Brazil. Like, Argentina was a really good choice for co-pro because it gives them that South American option. But Brazil versus Argentina, I think Brazil's just the stronger option.
Yes, absolutely.
Just because they're huge manpower pool.
And they've got a really interesting focus tree, which I shouldn't be showing. But I was just talking in a Kaiserreich term here. I was just like, gosh, I'm so used to just going, oh yes, look at the nation's focus tree, da 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 da. But there are rules. Bad Midgeman.
Got to be careful about the tournament stuff.
Yeah. I will let you take over for a little bit as well, in terms of control.
Sure. Wait, can Argentina join CoPro? Yeah, regularly. And in fact, the rules last year was Argentina was CoPro, which meant that you saw a lot more action going on in South America than you usually do. Mm-hmm. Because you have the Patagonian Workers' Front, which is CoPro. Very much CoPro. And then the other option, Sweden versus Belgium, which we talked about. Siam versus Philippines, which we talked about. Argentina versus Brazil, which we talked about, which leaves Third International, which is Ireland versus Switzerland. Yeah, I think the only one that's actually really interesting of those choices is Ireland, Switzerland. Do you go with Ireland with this crazy industry, or do you go with Switzerland, who is another power on the French-German border, which just gives you that extra bit of control? And I think that Switzerland can really beef up its units as well. Ireland is more about the industry.
I know Switzerland can heavily fortify as well, which is, having an unbreakable ally in the mountain regions between the Austrians, who are in the Reichspakt, and the Germans, for them to try and slog their way into. And they'll have to guard that as a border as well, even if it is like, you know, tough land to push through. They can't leave it undefended, because you could just put tanks through there, undercut. There's a lot of opportunities to surround. So both are valid. However, I personally rate the Irish industry. The Irish focus tree in this game is fantastic. In Kaiserreich is fantastic. Irish industry is nothing to be snuffed at.
And especially, like, I'm in love with the whole concept of Naval Ireland. You don't usually see a dedicated naval player, but I think in this instance, and especially because it's Ireland, seeing a dedicated naval island makes so much sense to me. Mm-hmm. Because Third International can basically knock the Entente out if they stop their ships getting through.
Mm-hmm.
And Naval Ireland, if you go Submarine Ireland, you can probably do that.
Yeah, it's not something I had personally thought about, but it makes sense in this tournament setting.
100%. Yeah, definitely. Hello, everyone. Chance the words of power. It's just good business. Just good business.
I'm also just a big fan of Irish history. It was my A-level study, and it's really interesting to see a world where Michael Collins isn't shot in the head by someone in Cork and leading a nation.
Sorry, I'm just going to go through the follows again real quick. So,
Manbai,
Variety, The Real Obama, Chiron, Life Fireball of Doom, Carmine Station, Stetton, and Mike Mister. Thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. And again, I'm going to give another shout out to my co-host here, Midgeman. If you would like to see more of Midge's stuff, especially because he does much better production values than I usually do, you should definitely go check out his channel, which you can find at
twitch.tv/Midgeman. That's
there you go. Yeah. And again, if you want to put it in chat, please do.
Or if you want to see more of us together, you can check us out on the weekly streams for Paradox. Over at the moment on Tuesdays, you can catch us for about 2 hours playing both EU4 and Hoi4 on the Paradox Interactive Twitch channel.
I don't shout that out nearly as much as I should, but yes, it is a really good session. Especially, I got to say, the Yugoslavia game has been an absolute blast.
Fun. It's so much fun. Yeah, we've been basically in a single player scenario doing air controller Yugoslavia, where we're both co-oping the nation. I'm running the air force while Mordred tackles all the ground units, and we slogged our way through the Axis really early. Well, not even slogged. We 2 million Germans dead at Yugoslavian hands, and now we're fighting the Allies.
Yes, because the Allies kicked us out of the Allies not once, but twice.
And that was enough for us. We did a deal with the devil of our own, and neutral monarchist Yugoslavia teamed up with the Soviet Union to crush the Allies.
Yes, such betrayal cannot go unanswered.
Yeah.
We did our part in that war, and then our reward? They kicked us out.
The more I think about it, it's how hilarious it is that we're working with the Soviets, you know, anti-monarchist Soviet Union, burn the portraits, Anastasia screamed in vain kind of thing.
And also with Yugoslavia's own history vis-a-vis the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Like, they were the one communist nation that basically resisted Stalin.
Yeah. So it's very bizarre that we're working with the Stalin with Stalin to beat the Allies, but it's making for a very interesting game.
Yeah, we have our own Red Alert 2 situation. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Is the continuation of that play on Tuesdays? Yes, that's the Tuesday game we're running at the moment. It started on Wednesdays. Now the Paradox is on its summer schedule. That it's now what the game is on Tuesday, at least for a little while, before Hoi moves on to something slightly different. And yeah, we're also playing EU4 at the moment, which is quite fun. We made it to the new world as well, didn't we?
We did, and I think that was just a little hint at what might be happening after the summer there. Just a little prod.
Maybe a little
So I
bit.
probably shouldn't be highlighting, but I'm totally highlighting because it's not me.
I'm allowed. Look, I help decide what the streams are. I'm allowed to point out.
Anyway, we have got the ongoing war in the Indo-Chinese region. With Indochina, Greater... Why do I call it Greater? It's German East Asia, not Greater East Asia. German East Asian troops being cut off at the moment by French, British, and Irish units. So they are still very much fighting in Southeast Asia, while they were also fighting in America, and also, I believe, probably, possibly, let's go and check that, in China.
They're
getting Lend-Lease, but they're not getting troops.
That would be one too many fronts, I think, for them to be dealing with.
Nope, Siam has sent them to Oh no, Siam's co-pro, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just clicking through to see. Nope, Siam's the only one that's gotten involved in the second phase of the Chinese Civil War. In fact, I don't think you can even call this the Civil War. This is just outright the Japanese invasion.
Yeah. At this point, very much so. The Don Cuban Union there is holding out a little bit.
I wonder if this is Austria just kind of grinding experience.
I think it might be at this point.
Considering, yes. And they are getting a lot. Look at that tick up.
Yeah, this happened in Group A as well. It's a well-known tactic for the Austrians. It's interesting to see that it's the Reich team this time also doing it. Bulgaria's finished its wars, looking pretty mighty there. Yeah, take a look at Russia for a moment. What's happening with them with the Don Kuban Union?
They are fighting against Don Kuban, but they don't seem to be pushing it too hard. Like, it's just a couple of individual attacks going on at once. They have a lot of just generally fortified units there. So I don't know what exactly they are waiting for. Or again, they're just trying to make this... Oh, I know what it is. They're attacking across the river because they're trying to grind engineer on their general.
Oh.
So that they can get the improved... Oh, what's that trait called? Improv expert.
Improv expert for the bridges.
That's not linked to engineer.
It's Fortress Buster and Scavenger for engineer.
Engineer just has the attack over forts and rivers. Trickster is improv expert.
Mm-hmm.
Is it always that way around?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. I was just wrong.
Fortress Buster, however, is a brilliant... the general they're doing with it, is that an armored leader?
No. No,
Interesting.
infantry.
I thought they might put an armored general in just because Fortress Buster, the extra 15% attack on urban settings, is really useful on tanks.
And I'm also very happy to say that they have bowed to the one true leader of all of Russia, and that is, of course, Peter Wrangel. Wrangel be praised.
Oh, we saw an absolutely amazing general from the Russians in the previous group stages. It was a skill 7 leader. It ended up with adaptable as well, in charge of 10 cores of heavy tanks, and it just smashed through anything. It was
only 7. The Americans in our game had 10, and they could actually have had an attack of 11.
Oh no, I'm talking I think level 7, skill level 7.
Oh yeah, he was also level 7, but he had 10 attack skill.
Oh yeah, no, his attack was 10. I was talking about the overall level. Yeah. But adaptable is just such a lovely trait. The Wrangles in chat. Everybody
Wrangles in chat.
Wrangles in chat for the Russians.
It's like the one Kaiserreich emote I have. Just because Wrangles just has such a history on this. Because back in the day, Wrangel could take every position in the Russian government. So he'd be the Prime Minister, the Economic Minister, the Foreign Minister, the Trade Minister, everything, and also a Field Marshal. I did that in one game, so Wrangel basically was just, I am Russia.
Rangoose.
So I'm very much looking forward to the new Russian overhaul, because I'm very much hoping that's a thing again. Because at the moment it's not.
If that happens, if there's the ability to do that as Russia, they should put a silent W in front of Russia. Just as a little Easter egg for like the naming. Like, would you put...
Wrangel can still be head of government. Don't think he can be foreign minister anymore. Materia. Yeah, see, I think he's only head of government now. It used to be he was in every position you could put him there.
Well,
oh, and he can also be chief of the army. That's the other thing Wrangel can do.
So,
staff.
yeah.
So yeah, every position in government. He's just that brilliant. Anyway, the AOS is looking like it's being taken apart really quite rapidly at the moment. Split up into 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections at the moment. And just slowly but surely being demolished.
Baton Rouge is being surrounded now. Tallahassee, Florida has fallen. Montgomery's fallen. Mobile, Alabama.
Hey, Mordred.
Hello.
So we have two $25 gift cards to Kaiserreich Cinema that we wanted to raffle away on your guys' stream.
Sure.
Just that was all good with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Over the night, whenever you're comfortable, like you guys can just do the two raffles.
If you send me the link to the, I don't know how it's actually done. Is it?
Well, if the winner would just come on to the Discord, and then we can DM them like the key directly, so that we don't need to complicate it.
Okay.
I'm just showing off Kaiserreich Cinema merch. Because I've got loads to hand. You can get, for example, the new Down with the Traitors poster that I have here framed, or one of these lovely 15-ounce Syndicalist mugs. Both of those, I believe, would be in the gift card range. So,
also, there is a $25 gift card being given away here on the Discord for anybody who is in the audience lounge, a voice channel here on the Kaiserreich Weekly Discord.
If you want to hang out with the rest of the audience, you can do so on the Kaiserreich Weekly Discord. And if we get an exclamation mark KR Weekly, I believe that's a link to the Discord. So can we get that in chat now, please? And I'm going to set up one of the giveaways right now. I think it's time we do this. So we're going to do this by keyword. So if you would like to be entered into the raffle for one of those gift cards, then you just need to type in the word wrangle into chat. Just wrangle.
Wrangle.
And you can
All right.
that.
Good luck, everyone.
Copy and pasting that. So wrangle. Good luck.
And if you don't know who Kaiserreich Cinema are, the people that you're getting these gift cards are from, Kaiserreich Cinema is an independent creative conglomerate at this point that produce creative works in and around the Kaiserreich universe. They also help fund the development of Kaiserreich as a mod. They produce works from documentaries about the world, faction highlights, to music, to artwork which you could buy, and it's interesting. They're a brilliant team headed up by the fantastic Vincent Daniil, and they also have a web shop where you can get yourself flags and posters like you've seen, mugs, hoodies. I've got a hoodie. Actually, if you've seen if you follow the Kaiserreich Cinema Twitter or their Instagram, and you've seen like the hoodie being displayed, that's me. I'm wearing that. That's a photo. That's me in that image. And yeah. And if
that's another thing you can add to your resume, model.
Yeah, model. I've actually done a catwalk before.
Really?
Yeah, I have. I've done a tiny bit of modelling in my weird career of a life I've had. And hey, if you want to hear more things from me as well, just to plug that, I have an audio show on the Kaiserreich Cinema YouTube channel. Yeah, check out Radio Kaiserreich. That's over there.
Okay, so let's go and announce the winner, as chat seems to have calmed down a little bit. So we are going to do roll it. And the winner is Crayon29. So Crayon29, can you please send me a message? I will send you a link to the Discord, and then you will need to reach out to the 1-2. Just right-click his name, DM, and just say, I won, and I will verify that is who won. When you do so.
Yeah,
So
congratulations.
say something in chat, and... In fact, he's on my Discord server. If you're on my Discord as well, you can just find him there. So the 1-2. I will copy and paste your name now, and I will just go and verify that you are the victor to him currently.
American Civil War has finished. Victory in the Civil War. But it's not without bloodshed. And also, New England hasn't gone back to the Americans yet, so...
I did notice there was a bit of a time delay on that last time, so I think it probably will. It just takes a month or two. Probably because the USA just gets 1 billion events at this point.
I also believe it costs them political power to do so. To ask the Canadians to do it. Or for the Canadians to give it up, I can't remember which, so they might be holding out there. Austria's fully finished its war with Hungary as well. So the main conflict's going right. Wow. India has broken into the three-way war here. Not civil war. Well, it kind of is a civil war, but
this is totally a civil war.
Yeah, it's just because they start independent nations, it's a little bit. But the Indian Civil War has begun fully. I think the Princely Federation here is working towards cutting off the Bharati Commune, who are trying to make a snake towards Delhi because they don't want the Dominion of India to capitulate to them, because that could actually spell a little bit of trouble with them dealing with the Bharati Commune. Then goes the left Kuomintang. In the India War. So the CoPro here really working on wars, trying to solidify their players and their player nations to then kickstart that industry. Obviously, with the slow burn of the start here, it's going to be slightly a problem for them. It can be a problem for them if there's too much enemy interference, but I think they're handling this really well, and they're going to come out as a pretty strong CoPro.
They are. I mean, CoPro is always kind of the scary one because they have the combined manpower of Russia, India, and China, which kind of bonkers to me. But yeah, Fentien's doing a really good job reunifying China. Princely Fed is now pushed through into Dominion of India and probably just holding the line against Baratia. Russia being quite slow about Donkoban Union, but managed to grab all of the rest, so everything is looking good.
Yeah, I said it before in the previous stream, but the CoPro win on Japanese politics, Chinese manpower, and Russian industry. That's the key format of those wars. Surprisingly, the Donkoban reunion still hasn't been pushed by the Russians.
Yeah, it's just because they're trying to get that trait. They're trying to get engineer on their Red General. Also, one thing I did notice is Siam have taken Burma out, so Siam is also bigger.
Yep. Siam here looking pretty tasty. Siam's got a lot of manpower.
Oh wow, they have. What manpower law are they on? Limited. Impressive.
Do they get cores on Burma? No.
No.
Wow, I'm surprised Siam has that much manpower. Then the CoPro is just unstoppable in manpower then.
Yeah, absolutely, which is why I'm kind of astonished that they gave India to CoPro instead of Entente. I'm still not sure about that change. Because now there's basically no real reason for CoPro and Entente to actually fight, whereas before there was over India.
Maybe it's less for the sake of the maybe it's more for the Entente's sake than anything. Having too many wars that the Entente have to, shore up before they've got any ground. There goes the Iberian Declaration on Portugal, trying to secure that peninsula.
Can you just look at this from Spain's perspective for a second?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because in the last game, it was actually Portugal that declared war on Spain and basically just suicided themselves. It was hilarious. But in this one, no, this was a legit Iberian declaration on Portugal.
Mm-hmm. And there's troops already in Lisbon.
Yeah, it's a super fast war. Portugal, I think, has a grand total of 4 divisions. Yes, they do.
Yeah.